Heyo, this is the final boosh.
And this is Madhouse.
And holy fucking shit, man.
Wolf's a wrestler?
Oh my fucking God. Can you believe that redesign?
Yeah, outside the fact that he looked like Ganon. He looked like Ganondorf.
He could look like 1,000 Ganons to me.
Okay, I don't know. I wasn't expecting this, to be honest. And one of my mains.
Yeah.
So to have him come back and actually look like the problem with Virtua Fighter before was the characters seemed like they had no personality.
They didn't have any fucking personality.
And it's for him to come back so visually different to the fact that he looked like a totally different character.
It's really
Ganon.
It's really fucking whiplashy, right?
And I like how he feel like he's older.
He looks so fucking cool. He looks so fucking cool.
He does. He looks very fucking cool.
I kept looking at the trailer and literally, I know I'm sounding dramatic, but I kept wiping my eyes because I'm like, this is not even this. I mean, it's not supposed to be the same character visually. Right?
No, because we don't know how much time passed, but they talked about his retirement. So I'm assuming they said since his retirement, meaning he been out of the game for quite some time.
But does he even look like an older Wolf? He doesn't look like a completely new character.
No, he looked like an older. To me, he looked like an older Wolf.
And this is also a super exciting thing for me as well, because Virtua Fighter has always been on the cutting edge graphics.
Yeah,
and this looks like the next, oh my fucking God, he's so cool.
And just like Sega, it all looks very practical.
This is what I like.
It looks good. Look, the thing I like about some companies, how some companies just kind of push graphics for the sake of pushing graphics. Let's see how much we can stuff. Sega to me always been the more practical company, meaning everything is where it belongs. And I know that's somewhere, but I guess when we see more characters, you'll figure out what I mean.
I thought the Akira design looked fucking sick, but we didn't really get a
good look at him being a cowboy now.
So this is the first character we got a real good look at. And I'm just thinking man, remember his old Virtua? We were with the Virtua Fighter 5 version of that character for so long that I said, it feels like it's whiplash.
Mind you, when VF5 came out, we were either in middle school or high school. Now that's how long it been since VF5.
He Wolf looked like a wrestling archetype before.
Yeah, he looked like a generic wrestler,
like a fucking wrestler now. He looks like a wrestler,
he's
AEW wrestler.
No, fuck that. He's TNA. He's the type of TNA guy that would come in and get ignored.
He's Gunner.
Yeah,
he's Gunner. I know I keep saying he's so cool, but I'm so shocked dealing with these characters for so long.
And look at it, and they were kind of sauceless, man. But he come in with all this sauce, all this bravado. I don't know, he seemed like he a hill. I guess he's not psychic no more. I don't know what happened. But the fact
got over it.
He's got over it. But the fact that he came, if this is a testament to what it is to come with these characters, I hope the gameplay can fit the design.
Yeah, that's my next point, right? So Tekken 8 has been dropping the ball as of late, right?
I don't think they're dropping the ball.
They've been shitting on the ball.
They've been doing whatever it is. They were doing everything else to that ball except bouncing it.
So I'm really hoping VF still sticks to his gameplay, right? I'm still hoping when we see VF's gameplay officially, I know they said we've seen it already, but until we see health bars and how the game works with two people playing it live, until then.
Well, they said they're gonna have a thing somewhere in May or June or whatever.
I think it's today. So we'll see.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Don't quote me on that. I think it's today. My issue is if they can keep the gameplay to where it is, right? Obviously with some new bells and whistles, right? I'm not saying don't make anything fresher to the game, but still keep the game. I'm not saying Virtua Fighter is an honest game because it's one of the more ungood games out there, but it was still good in its own right. How can I explain it?
It was simplicity mixed with fun,
right? And then it was still
deep enough to get a big bite into.
So yeah, so like I said, just come in with comprehensive tutorials. Come in with just a flashy combat system where it doesn't exactly take away what makes VF, and they can do it. They can take the crown from Tekken, I feel.
It won't be that hard because all right, you all know we live in a world right now where games are being casualized, babyfied, and They being made for people who just don't care about the genre. I know we say it enough. It's a rhetoric. We say it enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Some games are immune to this, like Rivals of Ether 2. I'm gonna say it. Get mad. MK1. MK1 does not follow that rhetoric.
It's a mix. It's a mix. It's a mixture. We can go into that, but for later. But it's a mixture of that stuff, I feel. But in VF's case, the first thing casual gonna look at is your graphics, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm more interested in the gameplay, even though Wolf blew me away because, like I said, we've been dealing with that past version of Wolf for so long. Of course, it's a shock to me, but I'm still worried about the gameplay.
We seen that small stint with Akira and like there's some chubby chick. I don't know what she was.
That face Stella, whoever the fuck her name was.
Fat Sarah.
And
then it's like,
so
I don't know.
So I'm worried. I'm worried if they're going to interject some kind of new baby-fied system to the game. And I'm hopefully
is Ash the Mouth making this?
Yes.
Okay. Then we don't have nothing to worry about.
We'll see.
We don't have nothing to worry about.
And I'll still come at it with an open mind, right? I'll still come at it with an open mind. Change is not always bad.
If A2M making this, I'm fine. I'm fine because they're like aiding you, like you're going to get something solid out of it. You know what I mean?
Like, he's still a simple design.
Yeah,
he's still a simple design. It's just like, fuck, man, he's huge. His muscles are finally popping in a cool way. He's not just,
he got tattoos and design like he tell a story.
Like, fuck, man, I can't believe how much he looks like a wrestler now. I can't believe that shit. He looks so fucking cool, man.
Before he looked like a wrestling archetype. Now he actually like a wrestler. He looked like the wolf he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
He like a physical
monster.
Wolf, like a physical leader of the pack.
This is a main adventure right here.
Yeah.
This is a mean, he has the look. This is a mean fucking adventure.
He essentially Kevin Nash.
He's Kevin Nash.
He's Kevin Nash now.
He's Gunner. He's Hernandez. He's all these guys. He's a little bit of Big Show in there too.
And he's Ganondorf. And he's Ganondorf. He got a lot going on.
So, like I said, the gameplay needs to still be there, I feel. And like I said, I'll accept differences. But the gameplay,
look, just like Street Fighter 6, stuff is jiggling.
So the gameplay needs to be there as well. And the first thing casuals are going to look at
is the character design and graphics.
And VF always had fantastic graphics,
but they didn't have the character design.
But they just never had the character design
or the character personalities.
That's true too. But fuck, man, we can keep talking in circles all day. I'm so happy. This is what I always wanted from a visual perspective.
From what gameplay we've seen and some of the designs we've seen up to this point, including Wolf now, it seemed like they're stepping in the right direction.
Man,
it seemed like now I believe this game will go the same way Fatal Fury went. It's going to be better than its contemporaries. It's going to show people that fighting games still exist and get completely ignored.
Well, we can go into,
people don't want fighting games. They want baby fighters. They don't care about actual fighting games. They only care about what's popular.
That's true, and we can go into that because I want to talk about Fatal Fury right now anyway.
All right.
So, VF, if you come up with more banger designs, show us the gameplay is still nice and tight, but make it visually appealing for the casual so they can they can understand what's going on, and you might got yourself a fucking hit on your hand, a next classic.
Once again, A2M, I don't care. You know it's gonna be solid.
All right, let's hopefully when this direct comes out, we have some more interesting to talk about.
Let's hope so.
All right, let's get into some Fatal Fury real quick.
Wasn't it like a tournament or something? Because I didn't really look at it. You did.
Evo Japan top 6, what I watched.
All right, so I guess you handle the reins of this one. You see more.
Yeah, I may add some additional thoughts from our review that we had a couple of weeks ago with Fatal Fury. So, to be honest, it's the most fun I had with a fighting game tournament since MKX, honestly.
What makes you say that?
It's such, you couldn't pay me to watch a Street Fighter 6 tournament all the way through. Maybe you could pay me, I don't know. But yeah, I get so fucking bored with Street Fighter 6. I tried to be a good sport. I tried to find the reasons why I didn't like the game, and I thought high level play would kind of fix that. But it's not. It's essentially just the same game.
Yeah, it's the same game, just with better decision making and execution. But it don't really matter about that decision making when everything is technically a guess.
But there was a good showcase here. Yeah, and I know a lot of people might say oh, the tournament was filled with Billy's. What is it? Hakutomaru?
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
a lot of those guys, and especially like Hotaru. So yeah, it's it's a whole lot of that stuff. But it was still interesting because
I mean, no, I don't understand that, because like top tier is going to top tier.
No, I don't have any issues, because not to mention that this game didn't have any kind of significant balance patch yet.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sit here and run the game over the coals because the top tiers are doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
right?
like I don't get it. In Street Fighter 6, people was allowed to just pick the same 3 characters. So why is it so bad in this game?
It's not so bad. People like to overplay it.
In Mortal Kombat, people are allowed to pick the same characters. Like top tier is going to top tier. You can't help that. It's a tournament. These people want to win.
So we'll see what the game looks like after a balance patch. But with that being said, it was still really fun to watch, because at the end of the day, it could be like you could be seeing the same like players or the same characters, maybe a mirror match here and there, but is how they utilize the defensive mechanics and the plethora of options given to them is what makes the matches interesting.
That's something to make this game good in general. You know, it's just tons of options characters can take. It's constantly something happening. It's not the same rigmarole every 5 seconds.
Yeah, and that's a lot of my issues with like Tekken and like Street Fighter 6, where it doesn't feel dynamic. It just feels like, oh, these are 2 different guys playing, but they're playing the exact same way. No, that's not entirely true. But for the most part, it's like, oh, okay, well,
it's about 96-95% true.
I just seen this match, is what I'm saying. Where when you watch Nemo versus like Score, they might be playing the same characters everybody else is playing. Yeah, they're doing the same stuff everybody else is doing for the most part. But since the characters actually have kits, it's not as bad to watch. And I was just having fun, man. It was exciting. It was like fucking awesome. Now the game is still early. Nobody's really utilizing just defending and guard cancels like that yet. So
I see a lot of just defending though.
So eventually you're going to get like option selects and all that. It's going to be a very option.
But yeah, like I just like we watching it now. Like I just seen like a good guard cancel.
Right, because a lot of Hotomaru's, whatever, a lot of Ninja Boys save their rev blow for guard cancels. So it's people utilizing like different like SPG like hotspots and things like that. Like it's interesting, but like I said, we'll see when this game starts to get around the same age as a Street Fighter or a Tekken.
Well,
we'll see where it is.
What I'm seeing about it right now is it's a lot more footsies going around than I thought it was going to be. I thought people were just going to be rushing each other down, trying to do the biggest damage possible, but no, people playing very conservatively. They making sure, because overheat puts you in a bad position. You don't want to be overheated in the middle of a tournament, match.
And even then, like even with all these top tiers, I still don't feel like anybody's that overpowered. You can argue Hotaru has a little much. She has a little bit of every. Kain isn't even that bad. I think Hotaru's better than Kain.
He's saying just people bitching about zoning.
I think it's people just bitching about zoning. I think Kain is gimmicky and he's zoning, and that's getting under a lot of people's skin.
Well, zoners tend to fall off like after like a while.
Kain is a knowledge check character.
Like, I don't think Billy and Kain gonna be as strong as characters keep being at it. People get used to the mechanics.
No, I think Billy's strong right now, but when people start utilizing like hyper defense and things like that against him, he's gonna go down. Kain, on the other hand, I don't think he's broke at all. I just think he's like aggressive. And I think that, okay, maybe his zoning needs to be toned down. Or maybe not his zoning, I'm sorry. Maybe his rush down ability needs to be toned down. But to be fair, I haven't labbed it yet. When I looked at it during these matches, when I seen the Kain playing, I was trying to concentrate on his pressure sequences and where you can guard cancel, where you can hyper defense. And like a lot of it is just like you just have to know the character. I don't feel like anything, just like with Ninja Boy. I feel as though like a lot of people talking about, oh, he needs to be nerfed. But no, the game is early and he has a lot of neutral skips.
You mean Haku tomorrow?
He needs to be labbed. I don't think anybody feels that overpowered except for Hotaru, who needs to be scaled down a little bit.
Well, here's the thing. I think people aren't used to characters having options anymore. I think people are used to characters playing as it says on a 10, if that makes sense. People are used to characters being very simplistic and not have as much kit as the mechanics can give them. You know what I mean?
And there were some cool Kain setups. I really don't think Kain is that powerful. I really don't. I feel as though like he's going to get like nerfed for no reason, I feel.
Gives the break.
Where the only character I feel that needs to be nerfed is Hotaru, because she has a 4-frame. She can't be safe jumped at. She has like 4-frame normals. She's the only character with 4-frame normals, as far as I remember. But Kain looks like he still has to kind of work for his shit.
Well, right now I'm looking at Frenity versus what that is, Zhao Hai.
Zhao Hai, yeah, the winner. Yeah, I think he wins this tourney.
So like, yeah, I mean, yeah, she's strong. I mean,
she doesn't need as much tools as she has. She's the best zoner. She's the best grappler.
She's like mix ups and shit like that.
Like she could be toned down a bit from here, but I don't think
she's a bit overtuned.
I think other than addressing Kynes, I think frame data when he's rushing you down, and I don't know. I never really labbed the character like that yet.
Kind of need to pick a side.
So he needs to pick more of a side, but that could just be gimmicks.
Yeah, but it's either he need mediocre rush down and good zoning, or mediocre zoning and good rush down.
And I just think make Halter rules still make her like a Swiss Army knife, just make her a little worse at everything. She needs to be a Jillavar traits master of none.
Yeah.
Other than being the best at everything.
She needs to cover options, not like control them.
But if you were to ask me if anybody needs a nerf, just her, and then see where the game is at. I don't think anybody else needs a nerf that bad. I think, and I don't even think she needs to be normalized. Not
no, yeah, she's her and Kind is a bit overtuned. I think if you wiggle them down a bit and buff everybody else, not like Hokutomaru and Billy, don't buff them, keep them the same.
Keep them the same. I don't think they're particularly strong.
But
I mean, they're strong, obviously. I don't think they're like out of control.
Yeah, but if you nerf them for these two, keep Billy and Hokutomaru the same and buff everybody else and see where the game is, I think that's a perfect patch.
Right. And like I said, this was a fun tourney, man. I think with this in VF, I think like fighting games are starting to get some kind of competition again, because my issue is Namco's been on top of the hill for one game and they show they can't hack it, right?
Yeah.
You can say Tekken 7. Tekken 7 is where they got their popularity, but Tekken 8 is the one where they were supposed to flex.
Well, Tekken always been popular, dude. Come on.
No, but what I mean is they're big mainstream.
It's worldwide now, outside of the fighting game community.
They're big mainstream push, and as soon as they got the spotlight on them, they've been dropping the ball. And Street Fighter 6 is the same thing. Has no real competition. They didn't have a single announcement at Evo Japan. The Elena's coming out, and all I hear is people talking about how she looks and not the gameplay. So that's a problem, in my opinion. If you have a DLC character, and then the only thing people talking about is how she fucking looks, and not talking about the gameplay.
Because gameplay-wise, what is she going to offer? Damn. If gameplay-wise, what is she going to offer? She going to drive rush. She don't have a fireball. So, well, as far as we don't know what kind of new moves they gave her. But she don't have a fireball. She looked like she played very similar to how she did before. But you know, like she's gonna be the same thing everybody else is. And then she's gonna be a shallow character who overly relies on the system mechanics.
And then, okay, speaking of that, there's been a quick word on what some of the changes are
for SF6.
Yeah, and don't quote me on this specifically, but I think the change is regarding to perfect parry, right? Now, in order to perfect parry, you have to guess like high, mid, or low.
Now, this perfect parry or just perfect parry?
To my understanding, is just perfect parry,
not normal parry.
Now, here's my issue with that, right? It doesn't fix the problem.
No, because the problem is, okay, wait. Just perfect parry hit state matters.
Yeah, just perfect. So
regular parry is still the exact same thing.
Here's my scenario.
So what did that change?
Here's my scenario, right? Now, this is a complete hypothetical scenario. Let's say we're playing, right? And I got you on defense. I got you knocked down, and it's my turn to play Uki, right?
Yeah.
Let's say I want to meaty you with a crouching medium kick for whatever reason, right? So let's say I meaty my medium kick, and you perfect guard high. So you lose the perfect parry. You don't get the perfect parry.
Wouldn't regular parry just come out?
Wouldn't normal parry just come out? Which just doesn't change anything.
The issue with parry is perfect parry is its own can of worms. But the main issue with parry is the fact that it is essentially a low risk block button.
Right.
You parry everything. You do parry low.
Cross up protection.
And mind you, it's been a while since I played Street Fighter 6. Information might be a bit rusty. Haven't watched Street Fighter 6 other than like Sonic Soul. So information is a bit rusty.
So as far as I remember, you get cross up protection and you get high low protection. So it works kind of now in regards to perfect parry. I guess it works a little like Rev Guard now, where in Rev Guard you can't. It'll give you cross up protection, but you don't get high low protection.
Yeah, but the difference between Rev Guard and the parry is that Rev Guard don't have another mechanic under that mechanic. You feel me?
I don't think this changes.
It's not a Rev barrier and then a Rev Guard. You know what I mean? So it's like when you perfect parry, what's going to be the difference between perfect parry and regular parrying if you miss your perfect parry, wouldn't you just normally parry anyway?
So I'm hoping that means parry in general loses to either higher.
It has to be.
It has to be the case, right?
The way you explaining it does not make sense.
That's just what I pieced together by now. I would have to see it in action to say anything.
Because the way you explaining it is they're only going to pop now unless that perfect parry shuts down a normal parry. Unless perfect parry takes the attempt of perfect parry and take priority.
Yeah.
And it shuts down your attempt to regular parry after that. Like it's going to be they're going to program it to be a very deliberate thing. Is if you're going to normal parry or you going for a perfect parry. That's the only way I see it.
We'll see, man. I don't know. I don't have any hope in it.
But if that's the only change, it's like the game need more changes than that.
Which is a shame because, like, really, if you want me to be super honest, I don't think Street Fighter 6 needs like a whole. I'm okay. That's an understatement. I'm not going to say that, but Street Fighter 6, I feel, can exist and be an interesting game with its mechanics.
Street Fighter 6 is a bad fighting game fundamentally. The decisions they made to carry bad players as opposed to make a system that allows people to learn, it's a band-aid system. That's the problem with Street Fighter 6. It's meant to carry bad players. It's not meant to reward good players. Because at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to guessing. So the problem with Street Fighter 6 is fundamental. It's not like the game can't be saved, but they're going to need like a championship edition or a mega edition when they're allowed to take a risk like that. You already got the casuals. They don't play the game anyway. They're in Battle Lounge. So just make a fighting game that people actually want to care about. It shouldn't be painful to play a fighting game, bro. Like it's not that difficult. You made your money through the casuals. Okay? That time over. Time to save Street Fighter.
Well, yeah, I'll let you rip for a bit. Sorry. You had something to say there.
Sorry.
That's fine. It's good being it's being a good co-host, right? So I sensed you had something to say there.
Wait, how am I a co-host?
No, I'm the co-host.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Whoever's talking is automatically the co-host. Whoever's not talking is automatically the co-host at any given time. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully, I don't think Street Fighter 6 needs like a whole lot. I just think they need to address the clear issues. And just like with Tekken, I just think they don't feel the need to address any of the fucking issues with the game.
Because they got who they wanted to get. They got people who want to play the game regardless. We got people who actively do not care how the game plays. That's the problem. They got the audience that just consume. They got the casuals. They don't care what they put in their mouth. They could be eating a pizza with, instead of pepperoni, is little dots of shit, and they won't blink their mouths twice.
Well, as long as they're enjoying it. Now, look, man, we're living in a world where I'm not saying Fatal Fury is perfect. There's some homogenization going around, and the game should have handled the marketing better, and I think it would have made a much better impact because the marketing was just dog shit in this game. Not as if they didn't try. It wasn't. In my concern, it wasn't addressing fighting game players.
I don't think Fatal Fury is homogenized as like. Okay,
I don't think it's as bad as something like Street Fighter 6. I don't think
in term of the combo structure, as in what the characters need to do to get the most basic damage. I think people are playing it very homogenized. I don't think the game is homogenized. I think the game being so young right now, it feels homogenous. But when you're looking at I'm looking at these tournament matches and you see people want different things.
I'm not saying the whole game is like that. I'm saying like certain elements. So the EX meter, I feel like the rev meter, even though I think it does everything the drive meter should have done, right? I still think it has some issues with homogenization. I still think the combos kind of just all feel samey for every character.
I don't think so.
Not every character. I'm not saying.
I know that. I know. Talk about like, yeah. Do more characters need more salts. A lot of them need more salts. Like the game.
I just think EX moves need to be more interesting. If you're going to put EX moves in the game, I just hate the generic. Here's a damage buff. Here's invincibility. I know that's not for the most case of Fatal Fury, but here's invincibility. Like I want something cool to do with these EX moves, but that's a rant for like not just Fatal Fury. That's just modern fighting games in general.
But to finish my point,
yeah,
I think right now with everybody playing at such a low level, and I understand some characters do use the gauge the same way just for combo filler. Sometimes I think they could play around with the plus and minus frames a bit more. But the thing is, I think right now, since people are playing the game at like such a weird mix of levels because it's early, I think when people start getting more comfortable with the game, to constantly going in the EX move, unless you want to explode somebody, it's not going to cut it. Because you will put yourself in a bad position. I think you're going to have to rely more on raw hit confirms, or counter hits, or guard cancels, other than spamming EX moves.
Well, I'm not saying anybody's spamming EX moves. And you can already see that like top players are already using like the rev meter for like setting up guard crushes and things like that. And it's not like the defender is actually out, because they can always perfect parry. They can always just defend, or like zero frame somebody with a thing. Like there's options, right? And that's what makes this better than Street Fighter 6 in my opinion, that you're not guessing on defense. Like you're just never out. You're guessing on offense, which is fine. I think that makes for a much more healthier game than what Street Fighter 6 currently is. So I think fighting games are slowly fighting back with like if VF happens to be good in the gameplay department. We already have Fatal Fury being a really solid game.
Then we got the indies.
So hopefully Fatal Fury can get popular or gain some kind of momentum that Capcom actually has to improve Street Fighter 6 in a significant way.
I guarantee you they won't.
I just want competition. It's
unless they want to, they won't. Now here's what look. What I'm trying to say is, the reason why Fatal Fury is as good as it is, and the reason why Virtua might be as good as it is because these are companies that still have something to prove. Capcom and Namco, I'm not counting NetherRealm, never had to walk that tightrope.
Yeah.
And MK1, for what it is a good game.
The only thing I hear people bitching about is balance, and the balance is not even like, I don't think that putrid.
Yeah, just that dumb interest decision.
But if you're still crying about cameos like 2 years in, that's on you.
Get the fuck over it.
That's what the game is.
It's part of the game. Been part of the game since day one.
So it's either you're playing it or you're not. I mean, like it's as simple as that.
But it's like Capcom. I don't think they're going to change. Capcom, Namco, you got to think from like Nintendo. They got the audience they wanted. People just going to buy and play, go to Battle Lounge, don't care about the game competitively. They got who they wanted. Wait, Street Fighter 6 never had any huge balance changes up to this point.
It's because they got who they want. You're right.
Same thing with Namco. They got who they wanted at this point. So the reason why Fatal Fury and
I don't think that's Namco's kid. I think Namco just making bad decisions.
I know, but they still got who they wanted. So the reason why Fatal Fury is so a hungry wolf, ironically, even though we're just talking about wolf, it's confusing, right? Even though it's a hungry game because it has something to prove, it had to gain an audience, which is sad that it don't have a big audience.
I think the game's going to be supported for at least 3 years, right?
Yeah, but I'm worried about idiots who they complain about Street Fighter 6. They know it's a bad fighting game. There's other options out there currently outside of Fatal Fury that's better than Street Fighter 6.
But
that's better than Tekken 8.
The issue is Street Fighter 6, like I said, I could talk a whole lot of shit about the game if I want, but it did everything it needed to do outside of gameplay, in my opinion, did everything it needed to do right. Fatal Fury didn't do those steps. The netcode is good, but not as good as Street Fighter 6, or not as even as Street Fighter 6. It's still washy. The quality of life features, non-existent. You can say whatever you want about World Tour, and I might like episodes of Southtown better than World Tour, but World Tour is still the more casually appealing move.
Yeah, I agree.
So Street Fighter 6, the marketing in Street Fighter 6 was worlds better. Street Fighter 6 did everything it needed to do, except in gameplay. But you don't need to get people in gameplay if all you got is casuals. That's the problem. When it comes to VF, I mean not VF, when it comes to Fatal Fury, they got everything right. I feel everything right, but it's not there. It's not where it needs to be.
It's almost.
Even the gameplay, I feel, is really close to being good. It's good. I mean, I'm sorry. It's really close to being like fantastic.
All right, let's say it like this.
I feel like it's missing something.
Let's say it like this.
Still completely
let's say
fun.
It like this.
Hold on.
Right? Well,
it's still completely fun. I still will play this game up and down all day. But once again, I still think the gameplay is still missing something, but that's just me. Good.
I'm trying to piggyback off what you're saying. What I'm saying, like, in terms of Street Fighter 6, they like you said, they did everything correct outside of the gameplay. Now, Fatal Fury, like you said again, is a reverse. But the only difference is the gameplay, the world's better than Street Fighter 6. It shits on Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
It's not at its full potential yet.
Right.
I don't think it's even almost there. I think it's like a patch or two with the right patching and the right decision making, opening the game up the right way, balancing characters the right way, balancing system mechanics the right way. The game is so close to being perfection that we never see in a modern game.
Let's just hope they take those right decisions.
It's so close. I just think don't be pussies, SNK.
Look, man,
don't be pussies.
I feel Fatal Fury already has a spot, right? It already has its seat on the table, so to speak, right? It already has a seat on the table. We already know what this game is. We already know it has a small community. So I think all SNK got to do is play it safe, stay in the background, polish your game up to where it needs to be. Don't even try to compete.
You're not going to be popular. Get over it. You're not going to be popular.
Just give your game what it needs, and we have 3 years. We got plenty of time with the game. Just slowly do what you need to do, while Capcom just slowly alienates.
Let them hang themselves. I know,
and I hate comparing it to Capcom, but Capcom is this competition.
Yeah, just like no VF competition is Tekken 8, and Fatal Fury competition is Street Fighter 6. MK already won. I don't give a shit.
I don't want any game to fail. But what I'm saying is, I just want competition. I don't want Street Fighter 6 to be going. I want Street Fighter 6 to be. I want Street Fighter 6 to be the best version of what it could be, faster, so I can enjoy it. The more
popular Street Fighter 6 get, the more popular Fatal Fury get, the harder Street Fighter 6 have to try to gain audience back.
Right. I want everybody to enjoy Street Fighter 6. I think there's a good game in there somewhere, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's good. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, lie to myself, because it's the popular answer to have, and it's not. Fatal Fury's 20 times is better. It's just not a better. It's just not a better overall game than Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 is an amazing package, but a shitty fighting game. That's just what it is.
Sorry. We here at TCB is about honesty. We're not going to sugarcoat.
I'm not going to sit here and shit on you for liking Street Fighter 6, but I'm not going to sit here and say it's good because it's best for business.
Nah, the fighting game community should be ashamed of themselves.
No, it's like what you like.
No, I don't mind you liking what you like. That's fine. But to sit here and let like a totally competent game potentially die because you want your comfort food is ridiculous.
Wait, no, it's Saudi money. That's why. It's blood money.
Who gives a shit?
Wait. No, it's not blood money. It's because the game looks like a PS2 game or a PS3 game, whatever they say.
Because whatever, they got million excuses.
What? It's not that. I'm sorry. It's because of Ronaldo.
It's about Salvatore.
Ronaldo. Oh, no. It's about Salvatore. It's about Salvatore. It's about all these reasons. And I get all these reasons, or I'm not here to dismiss anybody's feelings towards that, but there's a lot of people who use that as crutches, right? If you feel strongly about Ronaldo being in the game, fine.
Nigga, don't play him.
But you could just not. If you don't want to support it, if you don't want to support it, I'm talking about the people who are bad faith actors, right? Where there's some people who feel strongly about the Saudi money, or some people who feel strongly. I don't know what you can do about that. If you want SNK to keep making games, this had to happen.
Don't the Saudis own Street Fighter to a degree?
They own like 5% of Capcom.
So what? It's still Saudi money.
I know, but
so I don't get it. I don't care if it's 90. I don't care if it's 2. I don't care if it's 5. Saudis still have their hand in Capcom.
But that's not how internet soapboxes work.
So what do it matter? Capcom got their blood money too.
I'm just saying, there's always a reason. There's always a reason not to play something. And for the people who feel really strongly about this, it's a bit for me. I don't really care. Like, I got a good fighting game. If it means that we get a rapist, allegedly we get an alleged rapist in there, or it means that we get a couple of stupid guest characters.
And honestly, cool DJ, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, Salvatore's cool. So if it means that every once in a while, and I know these are the most popular answers, but it's a product to me at the end of the day. And SNK being owned by a Saudi prince don't bother me as long as they keep making good games. I don't see what that, like, unless he goes around saying, let's bomb America and shit like that. He probably does, but I didn't hear it yet, so I don't got a problem with it.
I don't know anything about this Saudi man. Put him in the game.
Put the Saudi man in the game.
Put the Saudi prince in the game and get people even madder. I want to see it.
As long as we get all the characters they promised, I'm okay with who they put in. I don't really give a fuck.
I don't care as long as the character play well. I don't give a shit about Saudi money. It don't affect me.
This is a rant. I ain't expect them to go this.
Yeah, well, so it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
But once again, I'm not here to dismiss how you feel. I just don't care.
Play Fatal Fury. It's not gonna hurt you. My God, you want to y'all want to bitch and moan about Street Fighter 6. You want to bitch and moan about MK. You want to bitch and moan about Tekken 8, but you never want to take the steps to play a different game. You never want to try different games. You're shit talking, but you can't play them.
There's an argument to be said that like, oh, I don't want to take forever to find a match, but I've been finding matches no problem in Fatal Fury.
If you're a high rank, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time finding a match.
If you're double S rank, don't expect everybody to be up there with you.
I'm sorry that everybody in the world, especially these streamers, can't put 10 hours into the game. They have jobs, they have families, they have other obligations just streaming the game. I'm sorry you can't find a match.
Let me tell you my lot in life, right? Not only do I have to compete with a possibly laggy PS5, which they're patching, or possibly laggy or shitty controller, because the PS5 controller is shit.
Yeah, it is. For fighting games.
I also have a 9-to-5 job. So I can't put as much time in the Fatal Fury that I want. I wanted to make it a big part, and it's still gonna be a big part of the channel.
During the summer, yeah.
But during the summer, like I don't have to work during the summer. So I have time to actually put into Fatal Fury. So it's gonna be a little slow, but I'm gonna get to it. But I don't have all day to be a triple S rank. I don't have time in a day to be triple S ranked. And I mean, that's just the way it is. But we ranted on long enough.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
The Fatal Fury Evo Japan thing was super fun to watch, even with the repeating characters sometimes. People are overblowing the balance issues of this game, where the game didn't even get a balance patch yet. So let's just hang back and
most likely after this tournament
it might. Well, let's see where the game is at next tournament, and let's hope SNK just stays in the background, polishes the game where it absolutely needs to be polished, bring in character rankings, make sure this lag on the systems are fixed, make sure your menus are working, make sure you do this. Just
Andy looks great,
and yeah, Andy looks great, and just play in the background, watch Capcom slowly degrade their audience away and just have the casuals who would just not play their game and rank and just stay in Battle Hub all day with avatar battles, but that's what they want, so that's fine. And then hopefully this game will grow enough of an audience to kind of put Capcom back, because like I said, once again, I don't want any fighting game to die. I don't want Tekken 8 to be bad. I don't want Street Fighter 6 to be bad. I don't want MK1 to be bad. I don't want Fatal Fury to be bad. I don't want Virtua Fighter 6 to be bad. I don't want Nin Impact to be bad. I want all these games to thrive. But the only way the big companies are going to thrive is if the little companies are the more lesser known companies, give them legitimate competition. And sometimes that's not going to be through graphics. You're going to have to win people over slowly with gameplay and shit. But you know, I ranted on long enough.